What's going on, guys? We're officially 3 weeks out from Bleach Rebirth of Souls release date, March 21st. So while I'm late to this, I always want to do like a prediction of the final roster. Since they're releasing every character every Monday, that means there's only 3 characters left. That's what we assume. But just to clarify, my biggest prediction or wild theory is that the final week we're gonna get like a couple of characters announced at once. I'll be super disappointed if that's not the case, because normally the last week they release a massive huge trailer, because that final push to promote the game, the last stretch before the release date. Considering it's published by Bandai Namco, they also published Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that was initially 170-ish characters. The final week they announced they added 10 more characters, which were all announced at once in the final week. So it's kind of clever marketing, so I don't see why not. They might not do the same in this case. Hopefully that is true. We may not get like 10 plus characters more like Sparking Zero did, but I won't be surprised if we get like 4 or 5 announced in the final week. That's my wild theory. I believe that's the case. I think we're gonna get multiple announcements in the last week, but let's just say there's not. Let's just say there's only 3 following the pattern of every Monday. So if we go by 3, this is my prediction in the last final 3 characters of Bleach Rebirth of Souls to be announced until the 21st of March. Speaking of which, make sure you pre-order and support the game. So this is how I'm gonna do it. There's a tier list I put here. Put definitely 100%, very likely, nope, like not at all, and C, I don't know what I said. Let me delete that, and there we go. That's the top 3 or the 3 categories I'm going to be ranking these following characters. And look, there's a big roster right here, but I already kind of put them in certain order. So the characters that I think had the best chance I put in these 2 rows, as you can see here. I think characters in these 2 rows has a very good chance in getting in, or has at least slight chance of getting in. So let's go for the most obvious. Definitely 100%. Come on. It's the most obvious Dongai Ichigo, Mugetsu Ichigo, you could also say. He's most likely going to be safe for the final week, because Dongai Ichigo is basically the conclusion to the Ronka arc, which is also the conclusion to the campaign in Bleach Rebirth of Souls. That's where it ends. So it only makes sense that Dongai Ichigo will be the final character. Funnily enough, that would make him the 3rd Ichigo variant. So we have 2 variations of Ichigo: Soul Society Arc Ichigo / Agent Shinigami. Then we got Hurricane Mundo Ichigo with Vasalode as a revival mechanic. Then there's gonna be one final one, which is, to me, has to be Dongai Ichigo, which is the conclusion to Aranka arc, which means we should get Mugetsu. I can't wait. I think Mugetsu is gonna look the best and the most epic design and character in the whole game. He's gonna be full of aura, black Getsuga itself. I just praying he does not have a damn suicidal mechanic. I freaking hate that in J-Star's victory versus when he goes Mugetsu, it takes his whole life and he automatically dies. I hate that. I don't like self-destruct moves. But we shall see. We shall see how they do it. Without a doubt, he's gonna be one of our mains. This is top 1 or 2 favorite form of Ichigo of all time, especially paired with the Mugetsu, which is my favorite transformation in Shonen to me. So he's obvious. Since we're on the topic of Ichigo, I do not think Hollow Ichigo, or his correct name, White, will be a playable character. Sorry, let me rephrase that. As a separate, unique character, I think he's gonna be another Ichigo variant, so maybe that's 4 in this case now. But he's gonna play more akin to an Echo Fighter. If you don't know what I mean by Echo Fighter, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I think that was the first game to introduce that term. They have these Echo characters, which are basically clone characters of certain established characters in the base roster as it is, like Samus and Dark Samus. The only difference is that the properties is going to be slightly tweaked or changed. So Hollow Ichigo or White might be faster than normal Ichigo, but might be weaker or less damage output than Ichigo. But the moveset is going to be basically the same. The animation is going to be the same, except the Keycon moves and special moves. So I think special moves and Keycon moves are going to be drastically different and unique for White. I knew from day one, well not day one, like the 2nd or 3rd trailer when we saw Ichigo's gameplay, I 100% knew White Ichigo was going to be an Echo character or clone character, kind of like a skin for Ichigo, because there's a move that Ichigo does in one of his gameplay in combat where he spins the blade as Zangetsu using a ribbon attached. Ichigo's never done that. That's never a move that Ichigo has ever showcased in the original series. That was something that Hollow Ichigo, White Ichigo done. So I knew when I saw that, I was like, okay, 100% White's going to be a skin, a costume, or variant of Ichigo, because that's a move that White only done. Ichigo's never done that. I remember back in the day, people wished Ichigo copied his moves because White was so flashy with the moves and so like, it erratic. Long and behold, Rebirth Soul actually incorporated in Ichigo's playstyle, which is so fascinating. So I knew from the get-go, or from the very start, White and Ichigo is going to be basically the same characters with just different Keycon moves, special moves. So that's these two done. The next character kind of relates to Mugetsu Ichigo or Dangai Ichigo is Aizen. His final form Aizen, I don't think he's playable either. I would love to, but I think the Aizen we got is enough. I would have preferred two Aizen variants. The two characters that deserves or is appropriate to have clones are Ichigo, because of course the main character, and the amount of transformation he has, and Aizen. I think they're both special and unique to have so many forms or multiple fighters for those characters. But what we've seen in Aizen gameplay, he has 4 transformation. I don't think they're gonna make another separate Aizen just for this form alone. I would have believed it if they didn't show Butterfly Aizen, but you know, they show Butterfly Aizen or Butterfly Aizen form in his Aizen trailer. With this Aizen, he's gonna be a boss or campaign story mode specific character you fight, and that's it. Basically, he's made for a boss fight, I think, and that's about it. Which I will talk more about that for certain other characters in this roster as you see here. I think a lot of these characters are going to be boss specific or exclusive characters, and that's it. Just like how Jidambo is only campaign character that you fight, and that's about it. The next obvious one is Arenero because of the trailer. It's legit confirmed. People are still speculating like, is he playable or not, because it's a special trailer. I think he is. We see a lot of his gameplay. Technically, this is the final 2 characters, I guess, that I predict, because the third one is Arenero. He's basically been confirmed. And along with Arenero is Kain Shiba, which is another Ichigo clone, technically. Well, in terms of look. Way back in the day, everyone thought Kain and Ichigo were just the same character. They look exactly the same, just different hair color, and they were correct to think so. Arenero slash Kain are 100% the playable character. I mean, it was confirmed in the trailer. The next 100% has to be Baragon, right? I mean, he's a king of Huecamundo. He's number 2 ranked. Up to now, we have every Espada playable except for Baragon and Yami. I will get to Yami soon. But Baragon has to be playable. He's so pivotal. I mean, Sorifon and Hachi fights him. Like, multiple characters try and fight him. Even Umaida tries to be involved in the fight. The only thing I'm very skeptical with Baragon is how they're going to use his mechanics and playstyle. His abilities, should I say, is very broken. So I don't know how they're going to make that work. We shall see. Maybe decaying life, kind of like poison ability that Miyuri has. That's my best guess, is that he's going to have abilities that slowly decays your life over time. But he has to be playable, right? If he's not playable, that'd be so disappointing. If not, I think he'll fit so well as a boss fight only. I always thought way back in the day that Baragon gives me Dark Souls type of boss fight. I don't know why. Maybe it's all the skeleton and his design choice, and even his abilities is so Dark Souls inspired to me. His boss fight is gonna be sick if that's the case. So I think these 4 are the most obvious. Like, I think 100% gonna be guaranteed. I mean, these 2 basically been confirmed. Dangai Ichigo has to be, and Baragon is the least likely among these 4 characters, but still has a very good chance. Also, Kain and Arenero, they're basically echo characters, where Kain is probably echo character, which is such a good move by Tamsoft to do, because we never actually see Kain fight with his Shikai in his Shinigami outfit, so this is the closest we'll ever get, or closest thing we'll ever get. Yami, honestly, I say very likely. A part of me wants to put him in Nope, only because of his gigantic form, his final form. I think that's going to be campaign only fights, unless they're going to cut that out of the game entirely, which they better not, because the Byakuya Kenpachi banter was funny. But I think that form in particular is definitely campaign only. But the base form has to be a playable character. He's kind of like iconic. He was like the first Aranka you ever see, along with Ulquiorra. Plus, we're never going to get Ichigo's back shots without Yami, so come on. Pause. Ultra pause. Zamari, I say, is very likely as well. Actually, let me add another tier list. So I'm going to put low chance. I think Zamari is the least likely Aron card to be playable because of the popularity. To me, he's like the least popular Aron card among all the spiders to me. So I think he's the least likely. I would love for him to be a playable character, mainly because of the mechanics. I think it'd be super fascinating to see how they do it. Though I don't think there's enough fans to even want to play him. But I say he's low chance, or he has the least chance of getting in. But it would be a shame if Baragon and Yami gets confirmed, but not Zamari. He's the only one that gets excluded. That would suck. Again, this is just going off with just 3 characters left. I will talk about later on in the video, but I think a lot of these will be confirmed. Now, let's do a quick rundown of who's definitely not going to be playable. So that's Luffy, Momo, Okitake, Onohana, Omaida, Nanao, Isane, Tetsuzamon, Yamamoto lieutenant, I forgot his name. So I think all these lieutenants and these 2 captains, definitely not playable. I know a lot of people want Okitake, much like myself, to be playable, but how are they going to do it? I don't think there's going to be much, because there's no Bankai, so his awakening is what is Shikai. However, I do want him to be playable because this is best shot in being playable. In in Thousand Blood War arc, he barely does any fighting, so the most fighting he does is a Ronka and a bit of Soul Sighted arc against Yamamoto. So let me put him as low chance. Unohana 100% not playable. Do you know why? Because if I was a Blood War DLC expansion pack, I think she might be among those. But for sure, she is not going to be base roster. That's what I like to believe. Would be cool though, because she has a healing ability. So I think healing factor in a character, even though it might be too broken, would be so cool to see. Umaida is definitely not Umaida. I mean, there was no 3D model in that one shot when it shows all the captains. He should be there. He was in the anime and the manga, but they cut him out from the game in that one trailer. So I don't think he's playable. Then now, probably not until, again, Thousand Blood War. Isane, 100%, I don't believe so. Tetsuzaimon, definitely not. He would be cool. Why am I forget his name? That's it, Chojuro. How did I forget his name? I think he might actually fit so well, but they're saving him for Thousand Blood War or in the next game. He barely does anything before Thousand Blood War, so he's definitely not playable. Momo, I don't think so. A lot of people want her. I don't see what's the appeal. I was never a big Momo fan. The only reason I want her in there is for her to get stabbed, and that's it. We need the iconic shots back with AIZEN. And in the full gang, she gets ganged up, she gets stabbed twice. So I think they might cut her out of the game so that we don't have to see her get stabbed twice in the story mode. Loopy is definitely not, come on. I don't really hate the character, neither love him. I don't think he's that popular to be worth of a character. Plus his ability is so awkward, I don't know how it would work. So I think these characters are no to me. Now Zangetsu and Zangetsu, I don't know. I think Zangetsu is a no, even though we have seen his 3D model is in the opening trailer. I don't believe he will be a playable character, but Tenzin Zangetsu though, hopefully so. Let's please let him be, but I'll put him low chance for now. Tenzin Zangetsu would work so well. His awakening could easily be this form right here, the visored form or the Vassalode form. That would look so cold. Speaking of which, White has shown that he has Vassalode form as well. Is inverse colors, so maybe White will have a reawakening or revival mechanic where he turns into Vassalode. That's my prediction if they show his trailer, which his trailer might be one of the last as well now that I think about it. Yumichika is another lieutenant. He has a low chance. He's the only one that's more unique among these other lieutenants because we've actually seen him fight multiple times, especially against Charlotte Coolhorn. Is only like biggest reason for him to be playable because that's where he shows his Shikai. Kind of busts his Shikai as well, so he would be extremely dangerous in Bleach River Souls as a fighter. Ishin, I will love it, but I think he's low chance. I mean, they made Kaien playable. They should give Ishin a fighter as well. Let the whole family be playable, except Kukaku Shiba, I guess. But we need Ishin playable, man, because we can see more of his Zanpakuto. We barely see much of his abilities and powers in the source material. So I want to see more of Engetsu, his Shikai ability, and just more of Ishin. I would love to see more Ishin. Speaking of dads, I would be freaking amazed if they get Ryuken as a playable character. Come on, the 2 fathers. If they do a special trailer of just a father trailer and has Ryuken and Ishin, I would be amazed. I would be so gassed. I always found these 2 and their dynamics so endearing. And putting them as fighters would be such an incredible move by Tamsoft. 2 characters that we barely see of and know much of their battle prowess, so no better way to showcase it than Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Now the visors, personally, this is my personal opinion, I think most of these are not going to be playable. There's too much to show within the next 3 weeks, so I think no, nope, and no. Hachi is actually a decent chance. The only reason I believe this is because there's a 3D model of him in that one shot, so I'll put him there as low chance. That's only saving grace for Hachi. I think his abilities will fit so well in a fighting game, so I would like for him to be a playable character, even though he's not my favorite visors. He would be amazing though. Kensei in Rebirth of Souls would be insane. He's a fist fighter, so he's perfect for a fighting game. Fist fighter with daggers, I guess. Plus you add more uniqueness and variation to the battle styles in Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Instead of everyone just having swords and fists, he's gonna have daggers. Hiyori, I don't think so, even though we saw a character model. I don't think Yachiru is playable, even though we did see a model of her. Nemu, 100% not playable. We've seen her be a tag system for Miyuri. Speaking of tag system, a lot of these could be a tag system. Hiyori is a tag system, I forgot about that. So Hiyori is 100% not playable. Another one that people are not going to like me for, but I don't think Orihime is going to be playable. I would like for her to be playable. I'm not an Orihime hater. And I think it can be done. Look up Bleach Soul Resonance, a mobile game. She looks amazing. Her playstyle looks actually ridiculous in that game. It's been delayed too long that I don't think she's playable anymore. She would have been one of the first cards to be playable. She's shown in every trailer, like story trailer in some way, as a 3D model and opening in the freaking Aronkar trailer. She's been shown in so many trailers. We've seen a 3D model, but we never see a fight. So I don't think she's playable, which I don't mind. But as long as she's prevalent in the story, which it looks like to be the case, then I'm fine with it. Maybe the next game. And maybe I'm wrong, who knows? Let's see if she gets announced towards the end. But the final trades, I'm telling you, the final characters better be jaw-dropping. It has to be so impactful. And I don't think Orihime is that. The only reason Orihime might be big for the community of Bleach Rebirth of Souls is because everyone's doubting her to be playable. That's the only reason why she might be playable. Donga Ichigo will be the final shocker of the final character to be announced. But yeah, this is my final list, or the best chances these characters are going to be in. This is an odd one. Let me put this as 100% because he is a playable character, though he's a clone Echo character. So I'll put him as 100% anyways. That's it. Now, this is just going with 3 characters left. Let's just say, if we go for my wild prediction, they're going to announce numerous characters all at once in the final week as a final push of promotion for the game. I think this is what most likely will be the final characters left. So I think yes, and I'll put him to very likely. And that's it. I think this would be like a good bunch of characters before the final release. I do really want Ukitake to be playable because there's only 2 captains left not playable, Unohana and Ukitake. And the Espadas, there's only 2 Espadas yet to be confirmed. Sorry, 3 Espadas yet to be confirmed. Baragon, Yami, and Zamari. Oh, let me put Yumichika as very likely as well. Just follow Yumichika Hachi as well because you see a 3D model. And that's it. That is my final prediction. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you agree, disagree. Let me know if I left any characters out. I might have. There's so many characters in Bleach, so I might have forgotten a big one. But let's have a discussion in the comments below. I want to see your theories, your prediction. Final 3 weeks, guys. There's a ton of videos I'm going to be making for this game, so stay tuned. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.